afternoon and evening to you or wherever you are joining me at this moment. I say welcome to 199 edition of Investdata Trading Academy live with Ambrose. I'll tell that the market across the globe are opening on what on a positive note, extending the activities, positive activities of the previous trading day, what was on Friday. Most of the market, across the globe was in green on Friday. This morning, the same trend is what we are seeing now, which is a good one for this market. And it tells you that as investor, like I always say in this program, that the volatility in the market will always create opportunity for you to buy low and sell high. But if you are panicking or you have no tools to trade, that is where you'll be tossed up and down by this market oscillation. Market is actually at its volatility level, I will tell you. And there's a lot of information and reaction to one policy or one statement from here and there. And that tells you that as an investor or a trader, once you're able to understand how to use your technical analysis, technical analysis, looking at your chart, when you understand it and know the price structure or the price action formation, and also what are the momentum at what time, you always stay afloat to the market. And that is why, as a good trader or investor, you must also know when to allow your what all your plans or your objective to guide you. That's why if you are in the market, you don't have plan, that is where you can lose your money easily and also you complain. But if you have plan and you are trading your plan, to help you to reduce loss and at the same time manage your risk at any given time. That is why in any market you are trading, either bond, you are trading currency, you are trading equity or future, what you call it, commodity, you must have a goal, and that goal will help you to set your what your entering strategy, your exit strategy, know your buy range, know your stop loss, and at the same time your profit target. And once you make your profit, to cash it out is very very key. Because I know that most investors, real investors are greedy, even though they are making gain, they don't want to take their gain. But for traders, they understand that market will always go up and down, and even though there is a good momentum supporting the market, it will always go. Asia market, as we speak, is also looking good. But for me, the European market at this moment is also very, very strong. The European market is opening on a stronger note, and this has a lot of also valuation and expectation of what of earnings, because corporate action in that domain, and also some economic news that all eyes are on are looking positive. The few that are also hit the market, and also as they're looking forward to see the speech from the governor of European Central Bank, and also as I said earlier, the economic data also that are pointing positive, also expecting that this will lead to what to either rate things kind of pedal down, but the way the statements are coming from, even from the US Fed chairman or the committee members, and also from Europe, investors are really on a dicey position, whether there will be kind of a decline in rate hike or not. That's why all eyes are on the next policy meeting of this different mature the market, and also to see the outcome. Because looking at the slowdown in inflation data, it's expected that the central bank board, or for them, their body language, their statement have not signaled that will happen in terms of rate start slowing down. But we believe that since they slowed down the last one, let's see it. But all eyes are that because more inflation growth are coming, we're seeing the data are coming, pointing towards a southward direction that is expected to trigger. But the way their statement is coming around there, especially at the end of the last CBN governor, last central bank governors independent meeting they had, the independence of the central banks. The statement that came from that meeting shows that they are not even ready also to slow down. These are the things we also be considering, as an investor. But for European market, I said earlier, stock market there has opened higher this morning on the strength of what investors looking forward to see more corporate earnings, and also the outcome of the official statement that will come from this the governors clearly from that zone. But altogether, Asia market, I said, is still very very mixed, but all are looking green. But here in Africa, you can see that it's a mixed market. But NGS has just stepped into green slightly. I opened earlier on the downside, but we're seeing also crossing to a green position, but still slight green. But I believe that this is the first trading day of the week, and also that will usher into the last trading day or no, the coming week will be the last, no, the week for the month of January. I will tell you that the trend back here in Nigeria, we have seen a positive trend in terms of what trend of the index and the market. The momentum behind the market here is still very, very strong. But for Asia market, no, and the movement in oil price also what is also influencing activities there, no, both in the Asia market, Europe and what and the US. No, these are the factors that are also pushing price up. But we believe that as far as on the Q4, no, economic data from US this week, and we believe that all this also going to shape the market. These data are very, very important. That's why I say you as a trader, you know exactly the time when data hit and how to position. That what we discussed in the Q&A yesterday, how to know exactly and see what is the market reaction before the data hit the market and how you position. If there's a positive filler, you should know that if you buy into before then when the real number and positive market react to it, you also sell out. These are the things that we discussed in the last meeting. This is how to trade using technical analysis. We have seen that the earnings are good, but you must understand how to trade these earnings so that you can stay ahead of the market no matter the situation, no what no seen. But also for as we speak now, no oil price just slow down little, but stay above no trading at 87.36 dollar per barrel at this hour. For me, it's not still bad. We have seen that before the end of the month of January, the oil might hit $90, which is good for those oil producing country, and also it that will also activate activities in those economies. But for us to see this inflation slowing down, oil price must relatively remain above this $90, even below, so that we can see it slow down. Because what is happening in Russia and Ukraine has not helped matter. That's why we're seeing this kind of distortion in supply of oil and other things that have made the whole economy, the whole global economy look very dicey, into the new year. But we believe that as things normalize, we'll start seeing clarity where the global economy is going. But I believe that in this first quarter, for our own market here down here in Nigeria, we expect a mixed trend. Even with the outcome of the election, I believe that our market will sustain this momentum. But you as investors, don't be carried away with the up market. Always know exactly when to come in and also when to go out. It's very, very important. Before we go looking at how to use the technical analysis to trade earnings, which is part of what I discussed, I want to discuss few things. But we want to look at some economic data that were expected, or activities that were expected for this week. We expect that Unilever will be releasing their audited account this week, either today or tomorrow. We expect also board meeting of Okomu, Julius Berger, and Zenith Bank, Access. All their board meeting will also be coming this week. For investors, we know this board meeting that are coming also announce what is likely to be the outcome, whether their final dividend. Those that will send to CBN will also do that, but those that will also tell us when they are releasing their audited account and the full year will make the point that it will guide investors. So this morning also, UBA notified the market of extending its own close period and board meeting to February 13th. And see, these are also what investors will need also to guide them. At the close of business on Friday, we saw NTN also notifying the market of the incentive award shares for those that bought the last offer for sale that still hold that position. Still, last 1 year, they said if you're able to keep it, you'll be entitled to what to the benefit or the incentive or the share, additional share they will be crediting to your account. That means for me, these are the information that we need to know in the market. MPC meeting already we know is ongoing. We expect that to see the outcome by tomorrow afternoon. We can see that market was initially very flat this morning, but we're seeing that the life of Geregu also impacted the market positively to go into the green light. Now we're seeing. For me, let's keep our finger. But one thing that you should obvious that before when we come to the chart, you can see that the chart is at a stronger resistance level now. It tries to break out, but when it break out, it has not continued an uptrend. That is whether we call it a breakout or fake out. The market is trend. It has not pulled down to say on a downtrend. But I believe that at trending at this point, it's waiting for a trigger, and that trigger will come from what on the strength of earnings we're expecting, and also the outcome of MPC meeting. That will also support the market from this moment. For the good news that the market is good. Yes, for the earnings that we just mentioned, because it is very important that we know trading earnings with technical analysis. It's good that we know it. If you really want to trade technical analysis with earnings, the first thing that you should do as a trader is one, you need to identify the support and the resistance level of the stock you want to trade. Knowing that you know the actual release date of this company is very, very important. Knowing the release date and watch about watch out for the resistance and the support level. And this we call it a technical analysis or value area. Just like where it is now. At this point, there are no levels ahead where you need to know where the stock is for you as an investor or trader to know exactly what is having the past performance of that stock to that date respect, and because we have used the previous day to know how it reacted when this number hits the market or when on the date it hit and what respond. These are the things to look at. You must identify what the support and resistance level of this stock you want to break or the earnings, because you are expecting the company earnings, but it will help you to position because you have now seen that if the stocks are approaching a resistance level, you will know, or is it maybe at a good point for you to also sell. You also understand. So this is why you need to understand what resistance level or support level means. Using technical analysis. These are very important things you should know when it comes to looking at the price action. You need to understand what the stock is doing. Also, analyzing the trend, like always do in this class. Analyze the trend lines. Analyzing the trend lines. Is it uptrend? Is it downtrend? It's very, very good because a trend line is a straight line. That connects two or more price points. Two or more price points, and it's also used to identify the current trend, whether it's up or down. When the market is trending up or is trending, we really know looking at using what a trend line to work to understand how to draw. This will give you an insight. If the stock is also in an uptrend, it becomes easier for you to know where it's going, and it's a good time for you to buy because it's an uptrend. This is what the plan will help you to move to the time. Also, when it's on a downtrend, what are you trying to do? Is it a good time for you to sell? Also, you need to look at all this. How to trade with the earnings, technical earnings. Examine also the moving average. Here, the moving average, in this class, we emphasize on what? On our C line, which is a 8 days exponential moving average. I said it always so that that is for short term trader. For any multiple time frame, whether you are using 1 day, you are using a weekly, you are using a 1 hour, you are using a month, you are using all this. You need to also look at this because if you're a long-term investor, medium-term investor, you're looking at 22 days moving average exponential, or long-term looking at 55. You must understand the one that suits your investment objective of your investment horizon or time frame, so that it will help you also to what to know what to do. I know that this moving average are what we call a trend following what indicator that help you a lot to calculate the end, the averaging price of the stock when it closed at the end of the day, so that you know the numbers and also the days that's also ahead of you, and also how to take advantage of a short term moving average to help you take for your short term position. While the long term moving average also for those that are looking for long term position in the market. Yes, this is how to use this technical analysis to trade. The last one we're looking at here is analyzing the price action, which is the candlestick pattern. I said that like today I was talking on a program that we saw the market on a weekly chart, where we have almost a double top, but it tried to break out. But at the end of the day, it formed a hammer. When you see a hammer, when the market is going up, it's a sign of weakness. But you see a hammer when the market is going down, it's a sign of what? Strength coming back. The stock trying to resist, not going down. Up. That is what you mean. So when it's going up and you saw that it's expecting to go up from that point. When it's going down, you see that hammer, that the stock ready to decline further from that point. Once you notice it, you now look at other indicators like those that have followed me before now. I told that the momentum indicators that you see anywhere that has stochastic and all those ones, yes, RSI, they give you overbought and oversold according to interpretation, but the one we use in Investdata, we use those ones that give us to know whether there is strength. That strength is what is very important for you to know exactly where to move from that point in time. It's very, very important as well as investor or trader, so that you know exactly what you are doing at that particular time. Yes, if you now want to come to the chart. Now, before we go to the chart, we want to look at what the market is doing. We now come to that to analyze what we have just discussed now. I give you 4 points here that if you want to trade, how to trade, any season using a technical analysis, you must first of all identify what the chart pattern. Where is it? Where is it? Is it to predict the future? That's why using a chart. Then the first thing I identify is that identifying what the support and resistance level at the market or anytime they release their stock in the past, because you are using dates to know when the stock hit the price and what the response was. You have also studied that pattern, and that's why it's a pattern that repeats itself. You now need to know at that time result from what is response. And also don't forget that the key fundamental of any market is liquidity. Is very, very key. In a market, when there's no liquidity, no matter how fantastic the number is, it might not be much response to it, reaction to it. But if the market are flushed or are washed with liquidity, I'm telling you, once a positive earning from market will respond, and that also support what a price movement. This are but this fundamental for technical analysis is key that you must identify the support and which I call the value area, remember, and also I think you analyze what the trend line, what is the direction of the market, the direction of the stock we are looking at. Is it a downtrend or an uptrend? The downtrend you have seen also help you to understand whether the time for you to jump in or the time for you to start selling. Another one I say you must also examine your moving average. Moving average is very important. Whether you are taking moving average, 50 days moving average, or 100 moving average. You see, when you see that the stock is trading above the moving average, then it's also an uptrend. When you moving average, these are things you need to understand. Also, it's a trend following to let you know where to take decision. These are the things you know. Also, the last one I said you must know what analyze the candlestick pattern is very key. I mentioned hammer when I just said it. The other one can see the three soldiers. These are different candlesticks you should also notice. A full candlestick and also what we call have a bullish engulfing and bearish engulfing. So note all these ones, the sign, and also there are some all these hammer, Dodgy, all of them telling us exactly what they interpret, what they mean when you see them in your chart, what it triggers for you. These are the things you need to know when you are trading your earnings trading earnings using with what the technical analysis. You must understand this. Yes, like I said, now we want to look at what the market is doing at this point because the market is very important. As to speak now, market is trading at slightly in green as I said earlier, trading at 52,644. Point what? 0.20. Market is up by around 50, 50.92 point, which the market is up in green with almost 14%, 0.14% up, which is a good one for the market as we speak now. It's a good one. For me, this is okay. It's a good sign. Today being an NPC meeting, starting today, we also to see what will be the outcome. But people are still taking position in this market. But if you look at market rate, as I said, market rate is positive for having a 11 gainers against 8 losers. Market is what is in a positive rate, which is good. This is a good sign also that markets are on a good note after the slowdown on Friday. But if you look at I said we have 8 losers in the market, and if you look at the top losers at this point, oscillated for market insurance, we are seeing Cornerstone Insurance, Unity Bank, and the Transcorp and Fidelity. These are the top 5 losers as we speak. Then if you talk to the gainers, that we are seeing that Geregu is leading the pack now with 6.9% up. That's about 48, 148 naira 40 kobo. The price is what is trading now. I see ABC Transport up again. I see also Linkage Assurance, Guinness Nigeria, and also Champs. These are the top gainers. Others like the green ones are like GTCO, Zenith Bank. They are increased slightly as we speak. That's why I have 11 gainers against 8 losers at this hour. Also, if you look at the in terms of volume, I said that volume is very important in any market situation. Volume at this point is driven by Sterling Bank, and Sterling Bank has started almost 1 naira 60 kobo this morning, but it's trading around 1 naira 55 kobo at this hour. They are traded about 7.5 million shares, followed by GTCO at 24 naira 15 kobo. They are traded about 5.2 million shares. Also, you can see Transcorp at 1 naira 20 kobo, 4.3 million shares, and also Champs also trading around 27 kobo, 3.3 million shares, and Access Corp is trading at 9 naira flat and 2.9 million shares as speak. This is the position of the market now. But quickly, before we go to the chart, I want to look at the earnings that came to the market last week. For those who have discussed the universal insurance, briefly want to look at the living trust mortgage that's also that released unaudited account for the year ended December 31st, 2022, which is also good. This number is also a good one, giving us insight what to expect from the bigger names in this. And yes, these are smaller names that they might not making part of the market. The one I've seen earlier from the universal insurance, this one is coming from what? From living trust mortgage. Also, the numbers are looking good, and this is a financial company. You can see that the top line for the year ended December 31st was in green, about 55.83%, or that's almost 56. It moved from the gross earnings moved from 1.63 billion to 2.454 billion, representing about 56 up. PAT, which is very, very important, you know the importance of PAT, but seen that it moved from 506.96 to 909.15, 79% up for the PAT. Good one. Also in that direction, this translates into EPS of 18 kobo against 10 kobo posted in 2021. Profit margin in that direction also went up from 31.29% to 35.83. That means in every 1 naira from the gross earning, was seen that about 35 kobo to almost 36 kobo is retained as what as earnings, which is good as profit. But if you look at the operating cash flow of this bank, this mortgage bank, yes, I'll tell you they are in negative position, but we saw there was a or notice there's a change of a change in working capital, which form or lead that led to this negative cash flow. We believe that going to the future there might be a correction. But one thing I also should look at that is very, very important is that the last quarter, which is the last quarter of the year from October to December, and this is why they are rating this number so that you can see their performance before they now come with their corporate action before the end of 31st of March. You can see that for Q4 alone, this is also a fantastic performance from 507 in terms of gross earnings, 507.4 million to 801.2 million, representing 58% of. In that same direction, was top, PAT also recorded 54% growth from 153.3 million to 236.3 million for the last quarter of the year for Living Trust mortgage. The EPS also moved towards to 5 kobo from 3 kobo, and also in that same direction, we saw that the profit margin also each up from 29.44% to 30%. This is about also good. I mean, for this quarter alone, you can see that this company, I'll tell you, is a good sign that the company is well run. Looking at the kind of profit margin we're seeing, is that they are converting most of their effective managing costs. That's what it implies. That's why we're in a cost environment that is very, very high at this point. Yes, we'll go back straight now to our chart. It's very, very important. Before we go to our chart, I want to quickly call up all the indicators we want to use here so that it will help us to make what informed decision looking at the market, because the market is still trending. Consider this started about last week that we saw the seesaw movement, the mid trend. Consider this morning market is up again. On Friday it was down. Consider that movement that kept the market on the on the side wave movement, waiting for a trigger, an uptrend or a complete pullback. A pullback also will add strength to the market. That's why that you can't be afraid, or you should not be afraid of market pullback. It's part of market dynamics that market has to pull back, and when you pull back, it creates opportunity for you, for me, also to enter a new position. And those that are also the profit can also take profit before the pullback also will occur. That's why at any given time, make sure that you are trading into a plan and know when to cash forward your profit out, because market will not remain in up direction forever, and that is why also you can't remain on the down direction forever. But you must understand the movement of the market, where it's going, so that you exactly know what to do per time. Especially people that are trading live on a daily or a weekly, you must understand all this so that it will help you to make informed decision. Want to look at the money flow here. Look at money flow at this point, very, very important. Then look at what our ADS. Well, let me quickly use a MACD today. Let's do ADS alert. Yes, because I don't want to crowd the chart with the indicators. But the good thing is that we're looking at the momentum in the market, and also where is it with our T line. If you look at the T line here, market on its own, if you take it to a weekly chart, let me quickly do that. I want you to understand something very quickly. So today is the 14th of the week. If you look at the market on the weekly chart, you can see that market is has formed a double top here. After breaking market and trading, it didn't maintain that uptrend. But it's good that we are seeing market on the weekly chart still very strong in green. But until the breakout of this week now, we'll see where it's going. But looking good on the weekly chart. MACD is very, very powerful and strong here, and for the weekly chart. But we'll go back to our daily chart. Then our daily chart, you can see that market is above the T line. You can see here, but on a side trade movement, you can see for last week, the date market has been trading after recording a good gain not the previous week, but for the last 2 weeks. But for last week, immediately to particularly this week, market has been on the side trend because of up and down the seesaw movement. That we noticed that has continued this morning, but market is likely in green as we speak now. But the volume also is very small. If you look at where it is now, market is far, in terms of volume, below the average traded volume for the day. And MACD for me is still confirming like a bearish situation. Let's use our zoom to see so that you understand what I'm saying here in terms of the MACD. You need to understand. You can see MACD movement now. See where the MACD is now. MACD, you can see it here. MACD, okay, as we speak now, is still on now. MACD has also confirmed a bearish light that's working on a bearish signal. You can see that it's coming below the signal line. For me, we need to also watch. But the good thing that money flow this morning still remain above 50, but still flat as we speak now. You can see it here. Money flow is still flat, reading at 60. You can see that it has come down from almost 82, 80 that it closed last week. You can see it here around 60. But let's keep our finger crossed, waiting to see the outcome of MPC meeting. You can see here Friday was green, red. I see that this morning, I can see the market is green. It opened on a red on the downside, but as before this hour midday, it turned green with the help of what with the good gaining almost 7%. You can see that market is still above the T line. That is the fear that will not come at all. At this point, is the confidence of have fear to not come, but still above the T line. Market is still very, very strong at this hour. For the market is still good. But for those stocks that are active in the market, now I want to look at how they are doing. Like all eyes are on stock, GT code. But I want us to look at only that Sterling Bank. It's a stock that is oscillating. It touched 6 naira, 160 this morning. They are pulled back. But we can also look at the GT code and access, and look at the Transcorp to see their performance. Also look at what is happening in Guinness. Will Guinness also sustain this trend? But I'm not recommending either to buy or sell, but to look at the chart to see what is happening there since it's just coming up. Then also linkage assurance is also showing strength. And if you look at the loser chart again, you can see that it's mostly dominated by low cap stock, but also Fidelity Bank is one of them. We want to start with that Fidelity Bank. Let's see where Fidelity, how far we will go back. If this morning we are seeing a profit taking sign there, how long will that stock go back? Let's see for Fidelity. Look at the chart to get the graph of Fidelity. Fidelity on a daily chart, you can see it's trading slightly flat on the T line, and also MACD is confirming a bearish situation. I can see that the histogram here is looking down, while money flow is below 50, around the 48, 46. This for what? For the stock. This for what? It's a sign of profit taking. That's why we are seeing the stock. MACD is already confirming it. But we look at 1 hour chart for Fidelity to confirm. Fidelity on 1 hour chart is flat below what? In the last 2 hours, 3 hours, the stock has been on what? On a sell position. There's a sell pressure on it already. It's a sign of what people are taking profit from the stock after that touch almost 5 naira 17 kobo. We are not surprised. Let's see how far it will go before it will rebound ahead of the company number. But for those in Fidelity, you need to know what you are there. For short-term trader, you know your reason. For long-term, you know the reason why you are there. But for those stocks that you want to take advantage of the movement of the market now, we are seeing them. About 3 stocks now have just given a sign that they are breaking out their stronger resistance level. That means a breakout. And I tell you that there are some investors that traders that trade only breakout. Those stocks have noticed 3 of them. If you're also interested in those 3, you can also call our people or send through WhatsApp for those 3 stocks that are just show sign this morning as the market has opened. Let's quickly look at what is happening. In Transcorp, well, I mentioned Transcorp. Let's go up on Transcorp because of our time. Look at Transcorp. These are stocks that are volatile. Like also, when you trade as a trader, you look at them because you can make fortune if you understand how to catch the top and the down and the same time. If you look at this stock on a 1 hour chart, you can see that in the last 1 hour, you can see green position, go up and down, but it maintains it trying to show strength. And that strength is what we are seeing. Volume is still slightly above, almost within the average traded volume for the stock. You can see that the volume is still there, and that MACD is also confirming on a 1 hour chart, looking at a bearish situation, and also money flow is looking down on a 1 hour chart. But we want to quickly look at the day chart of Trustcorp to know exactly what Trustcorp is doing. On the day chart, the stock is coming back to the T line on the grip. No, it's almost broken out to touch almost no 1 naira 23 kobo this morning before pulling back to this 120. You can see on the day chart, the stock is very, very strong. Yeah, even though it was trading, even though it's trading slightly below the T line, you can see a strength of recovery from that stock. That means at the end of the day, we confirm money flow is now almost 82. Fine, there's activities in this stock as we speak. These are the things we should look as investors when we are trading. Like I said, let's quickly look at the Guinness Nigeria. What is happening in Guinness? Here the chart of Guinness on a 1 hour. You can see that Guinness, even the price went to 72 as we speak now, above the T line, but it's not too strong. We need to watch until the market close today. It's not too strong, but yes, it's a sign of gain here, but not too strong. But let's look at the 1 hour chart. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart shows that yes, in the last 1 hour, yes, this engulfing, I mentioned engulfing to the consider this green here and the one red one is taller. That's almost also a bullish engulfing. Looking at the last red and the current green, but have not engulfed because it still remains small. But it's a good sign that the stock tries to look up. You can see that on the 1 hour chart, the momentum, the MACD is almost becoming becoming bullish, and money flow moving up toward to 35, 38. That's a good point that is going up. Once it cross 50, that would be a good sign. For this stock, let's look at a week chart for this stock. Let's see what it tells us for this stock. Now, even on a weekly chart, you can see that the stock is also slightly above the T line here, and MACD is looking good, almost turning bullish again, and we're seeing money flow reading 79 on the weekly chart. These are the things we should watch when we are trading on this stock. Let's look at GT code, as I mentioned, GT code and Zenith Bank before we call it a day. But just have 1 minute before the system will sign me out. But let me go look at this stock. GT code on on a weekly chart now. What's GT code? You can see that it's still very, very strong. MACD is still positive. Despite the money flow is looking down around the 59. Still strong, but this is a sign of profit taking for the previous day. The previous week like slowed down, but this is a good start. Slightly in green this morning, but let's go down toward a day chart. So this is a daily chart. On a day chart, it's trading flat. But on the chart, you can see like for almost 3 days, we're seeing the stock experiencing some profit taking. That's why we are seeing this trade, and that also have shown on what on MACD becoming bearish, bearish signal. About what is that money flow is looking up this morning, and that's why it's likely we are seeing it in green. That's a good sign for the stock. For 1 hour chart also quickly before we look at Zenith Bank. On the 1 hour chart, the stock is trading below the T line, slightly below the T line, and bearish on MACD, and money flow is trading 25, which shows that it's a weak sign for on a daily chart. But before we finally go, we look at Zenith Bank. I'll make Zenith Bank brief just because of my time. Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank on the 1 hour chart is also flat on top of what the T line. You can see in the last 3 hours we have seen green and red and green, but good one the market is still flat above the T line. But you can see the volume is also relatively small, and MACD is also confirming it's no indecision now for MACD, but let's wait to see the end of the day. But money flow is looking up to reach 52. Good one for Zenith Bank on a 1 hour chart. But let's finally look at the day chart before we call it a day. On a day chart, yes, it's slightly also below the T line here. Try to but it's also forming a hammer on a downtrend. That's also a good sign of reversal. I told you earlier, when you see hammer on your on an uptrend, it's also a reversal. This is also a reversal sign. But money flow is reading almost at 68, which is a good one. And MACD is also building up to that one to turn bullish. That's a good one for Zenith Bank. On this note, we will draw the curtain for today. So see you tomorrow, hopefully, and enjoy the rest of the trading day. But for those that need those stocks and really want to take advantage, can call, also call my deadline or next send or send to our WhatsApp. They will give you reply immediately. You get the reply immediately as you request. Yes, see you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.